Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joy at Work. Hope you're doing well. So it's February 14, and I said, "Hey, let's do a Valentine's Day post." Now, I'm not really a big Valentine's Day person, but as you can see, right there's some people who really care about it in my home, and I'm thankful for them and happy that they care about it so much. But it really got me thinking about love, and this channel is called Joy at Work, and I began to think about, well, what about love at work? Is that a thing? And what what thoughts do I have about it? What thoughts do you have about it? What's interesting is that whenever I bring up the word love at work, I often see people kind of respond kind of funny, like, why are you talking about love? This isn't the right context to or place to talk about love. They feel like love is something you should talk about in certain kinds of relationships, but definitely not in the workplace. And this is interesting because in the English language, right, we really have only one word for we have love, this the single word, and it expresses all a range of emotions you can have. But we know that the Greeks actually had multiple words for love, right? Whether it's storge, agape, eros, philia, all these different kinds of love, if you will, and they had different words to capture them all, right? Eros was really the erotic form, the almost lustful kind of love. Philia, brotherly, storge, the kind of love you would have between family members and other kinds. But the most, or a unique type of love that the Greeks defined was agape. And agape love is just love you have for people, not because they give you anything in return. It's really just unconditional. It's love for humanity, seeing them as people and loving them. I guess in modern English, we might call that being altruistic. And the famed psychologist Carl Rogers referred to this, or I like to think that when he talks about unconditional positive regard, that's what he was talking about. It was this love for people that wasn't based on what they could offer you, what they could do for you, or even a relationship you had with them. They could be strangers, but it was because they were human and they were distinct entities that you cared for them, you loved them, and you would basically sacrifice yourself if need be to help them and protect them. What's fascinating about agape love or altruistic behaviors is that you don't even have to like somebody, honestly, to love them. Think about that. We often, especially in the workplace, tie how we feel about somebody to what we how we treat that person, or how we care for that individual. And agape love says you might dislike somebody's behaviors, you might dislike their lifestyle, you might dislike how they talk or how they engage, but you can still love them. You can still have positive regard for them, unconditional positive regard for them, and do whatever is in their best interest. And I think this is really important for leaders to remember. We're not asked to like everybody, honestly, that we serve or that we help. But I do believe, especially if you say you're a servant leader, you're called to agape love everyone that's in your care that you support. And I think team members and everybody can really adopt this. Now, agape love isn't a love that just lets anything go, right? I think agape love still, because it seeks the interest of all, it will take the time to provide correction and point people in the right direction. It isn't a lovey-dovey kind of love that just ignores or looks the other way. It's a love that's courageous, that's willing to have the difficult conversations because it wants what's best for everybody, right? The inherent motivation is I am seeking what's in your best interest and what's in the collective's best interest. And that's why agape love is so important. And that's why I believe we need to be comfortable with talking about love at work. It shouldn't be something that makes us uncomfortable. Leaders shouldn't be ashamed of saying, I love my team members. I love the people that I support, because you should have their best interest, and you should be willing to do whatever you can to help them, right? Sometimes that help requires difficult conversations. It might require going even in different directions, but the motivation should be what's in that individual's best interest. So on Valentine's Day, as you're celebrating with your loved ones, Wherever you might be, don't forget that love plays a critical part, a crucial part, a pivotal part. I believe it does, at least in the workplace. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be, nothing to not talk about, if you will. Let's talk a little bit more about love and its importance in the workplace and how it makes us all better as we do our job. So, thanks for tuning in. If you have comments, feedback, please feel free to share. Subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.